Yo, it's about 4 in the morning, right? C Smooth, C Smooth. Shouts out to you and yours, Royce the 5'9". Shouts out to you and yours. How can I say this without even saying it? Because you should know. I'm gonna give you one name, 3 letters. Well, actually, three: a first name, a last name, and a middle name. Ty Tariq Bey. Ty Tariq Bey. He's powerful when it comes to knowledge. The reason why you're being disrespected by Vlad and people like Andrew Schultz is because you keep calling yourself black. You keep calling yourself African American. Those things are reserved for when you type your name in the little box that says sign here, right? Or give me your social security number. Or when you get pulled over by the police, they say, let me see your license and registration and proof of insurance. They're putting you in numbers. And this is so special about this ID 2020. And it's very important that people know what's heading down the road. Now, if you do not believe me, go check that out for yourself. Go check out ID 2020 for yourself. Go check out Taj Tariq Bey for yourself and the laws of government that you're under, that you shouldn't be under. I'm gonna tell you a story. You know how this pandemic hit, right? And everybody needed 3 forms of ID because most of the world stopped working. I stopped working. And then there's this system called the PUA, unemployment system, that helped people who had ownership of their jobs, who were losing their businesses, gate workers, Lyft and Uber drivers. All across America. And I did not know about this until April, right? They need you 3 forms of ID. 3. Now, due to fraudulent matters, now everybody has to suffer and they want more and more identification. Why? Why? Why do you need more forms of identification? What are they insinuating? All you need is your license and your social security number. Or possibly a birth certificate. See, your birth certificate is pretty much the same as your social security number. It's just a numbers game. They want to identify you, where you live, who you stay with, who your grandmother was, who your grandmother stay, where your grandfather stay, where your cousins stay, where you stay, just in case they have to catch up with your black, calling yourself ass. just in case you mess up. Say you rob a bank, all right? They look and they identify you, they identify your face because they got that technology now. All it takes is one fingerprint. All it takes is one screw up. That license, Social Security, and whatever else will help the FBI come get you. Now, if you're now, unless you're gonna burn off your fingertips, but this is the but this is one of the primary reasons why black folks, African Americans can't get no respect. It's because you keep coding yourself. You keep calling yourself in quote. The code is what I would call it. Now let's face it. Flat TV's a punk. All right. He feeds just like all your white rappers, all your Jamaican rappers, all white singers, blues singers. They feed off of your culture. And to one's credit, you're right. They are guests. But pretty soon, or rather yet, it's been happening already. Pretty soon, they put that in the category, this is our culture. See how that is? How is it your culture when you have had no parts of it at all? You couldn't rap, you couldn't dance, you couldn't sing without us. It's like one building one's home, and you done wore out your hands carpenterizing. I know that's not a word. Being a carpenter, building your house, putting the specific right things in your house for oxygen to come in and out, for you to breathe. And they start to put furniture in your house. Talking about, this is a nice house. I put in the money for this house. What are you doing here? They're just moving furniture slowly and surely. Everybody talking about, Ben talking about Joe Budden, talking about he was asking for 250 million. Once again, people were led right. You asked for what you are worth, whether you asked for it or not. Whether you asked for it or not. See, this is the part that's bugging me about African Americans. Charlemagne knows better, but he's too afraid of what his buddy Andrew Schultz may say or do. 50% of stock don't mean nothing. It says you own a little piece of something, but if they wanted to cut it off at the knees, they can. It's called white privilege. There's a reason why they call it brilliant idiots for a reason. Brilliant idiots. If Charlemagne wanted to, he could cut it off. He has the money to own his own brand. What he is doing is not ownership. It's what Joe would put it, the pyramid scheme. Work for you. Get a job, sign the application, sign the contract, work for your bosses, work through that contract. You're still in this section here. Ownership is above the top. You ask for 80% of the revenue. Go and ask your boss about owning, go and ask your bosses today about, well, I want to own the hospital. I want to be the the general of I don't know. I want to be the owner of a bank. Why you want to be the owner of the bank? Have enough have enough money for yourself and own your own bank. How do I do that? Save your money. I want to be I want to be owner of my own grocery store. Okay, save up your money, become an owner of a bank. You don't necessarily have to have a loan, but when you get that loan, you have to pay it back. Anyways, what I was saying is bothering me that black people don't see the writing of the wall quite just yet. I mean, it's good to come out in support. It's good that you're woke, whatever that means. It is also good to recognize your worth. But once again, the white man, the Caucasian male, will not respect you because of the policies and the laws that are being put in place. The Dred Scott decision must be eradicated. If you don't know what the Dred Scott decision is, look it up. A white man is not bound by the laws to respect you. I'm paraphrasing. He doesn't have to respect you. He recognizes you, but he doesn't have to respect you. He's been calling you a nigger for years and you didn't know the true meaning of the word. The white man word of the white man's true definition of a nigger is nothing but a dark, gloomy man of negative proportion. But the real, true word is scaring the hell out of white people. I believe that's one of the reasons why they're afraid of you now, why they want you gone, why they want you extinct. The real true definition of the word, well, most of us don't earn that title. And I believe some of my followers and friends know what word I'm talking about. Negus. Negus. For those of you who don't know that I can actually spell. What is that word, that definition of that word? It means God. It's quite interesting because a white boy from a spelling bee competition, they asked him that same question. It's like, how do you spell the word niggers? And he was so like, he was like, can you get me into it in a sentence? God. And he actually spelled it right. Know your worth. Once you know that you have not God capabilities, none of us have God capabilities. And even if we do have God capabilities, even if we do have the Son of God's capabilities, it wouldn't be handled. It's like Mjolnir from Thor. None of us would be worthy. None of us would be worthy of that title because not to say it's our fault, but we are part to blame for all this toxic stuff that we have been putting in our bodies and in our minds here in America. But if we were to go back and to the motherland, to the continent of Africa, where most of our ancestors were born, were raised, and we can find out who our tribes were, you would be pretty proud. You would be pretty surprised. You would be pretty surprised. I'm curious. So don't let Vlad and all the other